There was a time, not very long ago, when China was called the sick man of Asia. A country broken by war, crushed by famine, divided by ideology, and ruled by poverty. Foreign powers had carved it up, dynasties had fallen, and the dream of a united, strong China seemed almost impossible. But today, China is a global powerhouse. Its companies dominate the world, its economy is second only to the US, and its ambitions stretch from Earth to space. So how did this happen? How did China go from zero to hero? Let's go back to 1949. The People's Republic of China was born under Mao Zedong after decades of civil war and colonial oppression. But instead of prosperity, what followed was struggle. The Great Leap Forward was supposed to make China an industrial giant. Instead, it caused one of the deadliest famines in human history. Millions of people died. Then came the Cultural Revolution, which tore through education, art, and intellect like a storm. Chaos reigned. China was isolated, poor, forgotten. But deep within the chaos, seeds of discipline were being planted. The system was hardening. The people, despite suffering, were learning to endure. And then came the man who would quietly change everything, Deng Xiaoping. Deng looked at the world and realized, if China wanted to rise, it couldn't stay locked behind ideology. So in 1978, he opened the doors. Not completely, but just enough. He said, it doesn't matter if a cat is black or white, as long as it catches mice. Meaning, forget dogma, do what works. And what worked was capitalism. Deng introduced market reforms. Farmers were allowed to sell their crops. Businesses were encouraged. Foreign investment came in. And then came the special economic zones, cities like Shenzhen that transformed from fishing villages into global tech hubs almost overnight. Factories mushroomed. Infrastructure boomed. Roads, bridges, dams and power plants rose at lightning speed. China became the workshop of the world. From clothes to toys to electronics, everything was made in China. But China didn't just copy, it learned. Then it innovated. The world watched in shock as the sleeping dragon woke up. From bicycles to bullet trains, from rice fields to skyscrapers, China was rewriting its future. And it wasn't just about industry. China embraced the internet. Mobile payments, super apps, e-commerce. China skipped the credit card era and went straight to QR codes. Companies like Alibaba, Tencent and Huawei became giants. TikTok, a Chinese invention, now defines global youth culture. And while the West argued and debated, China built airports, high-speed rail, smart cities. Every 5 years, the country looked completely different. Poverty? In just a few decades, China lifted over 800 million people out of poverty, the largest such movement in human history. But China didn't stop at borders. Through its ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, it started building roads, ports, and railways in Africa, Asia, and Europe. Not just selling products, China began exporting its influence. It sent astronauts into space, launched its own space station, took leadership in artificial intelligence, quantum computing, electric vehicles, and green energy. While others slowed down, China raced ahead. Of course, the journey hasn't been perfect. Challenges remain: aging population, rising debt, environmental issues, and global mistrust. But if there's one thing history has shown us, it's that China adapts and it endures. From opium wars to trade wars, from famine to festivals of innovation, from dusty villages to the digital frontier, this is not just an economic miracle. This is the rebirth of a civilization. So next time you look at your phone, your clothes, your car, your apps, remember, somewhere in that supply chain there's a piece of China. Because this once broken nation is no longer in the shadows. It's here. Loud, bold, fast, and ready for the future. If this story blew your mind, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel for more powerful untold stories and tell us in the comments, what do you think China's future looks like? This has been ProBro, and we'll see you in the next one.